Welcome back, and you're still watching The Breakfast Show. And Iran's latest diplomatic response raises new questions over prospects for ending regional conflict. Iran's latest response to the United States proposal aimed at ending the ongoing regional conflict has intensified international attention on the fragile diplomatic process unfolding through Pakistani mediation. Details in the coming report.
Tehran delivered a revised response to Washington through Pakistan, which has emerged as a key intermediary between the two sides. The proposal reportedly addressed several core issues, including sanctions, relief, the opening of the Strait of Hormuz, guarantees against future military escalation, and the broader framework for negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. However, early indications suggest that major differences remained unresolved, with American officials reportedly viewing parts of Iran's revised position as insufficient for a final agreement. One of the most important questions surrounding the latest development is whether Iran's response represents a genuine diplomatic opening or a strategic effort to gain time while preserving leverage on the ground. Iranian officials continue to insist that any sustainable agreement must begin with a permanent halt to military operations, accompanied by economic concessions and guarantees that Tehran will not face renewed attacks after entering negotiations. From Iran's perspective, previous diplomatic agreements, particularly the collapse of the 2015 nuclear deal, have reinforced deep mistrust towards Western commitments. Another major issue involves Iran's nuclear program. Reports indicate that Washington continues pushing for strict limitations on Iranian nuclear activity, while Tehran insists that broader political and security guarantees must come first. Pakistan's growing diplomatic role has also become a major feature of the current crisis. Islamabad's involvement highlights shifting geopolitical dynamics in the region, where non-Western intermediaries are increasingly playing prominent roles in major international disputes. Pakistan maintains working relationships with Iran, Gulf Arab states, China, and the United States, positioning.
And to shed more light on the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran, we are joined over the phone by Mr. Rahman, journalist. Good morning.
And a very good morning to you and to the dear viewers.
So, sir, how do you read the situation now in Iran and the developments of the war?
There are hopes, of course, that are gathering in the air, hoping that the negotiations course can come to an end, an enlightenment, an ending enlightenment for the whole world after going through the dark tunnel for a long time.
Yes.
Almost 3 months now, and the world is living under the threat of the barrel of a gun, the American gun, the Israeli gun, and of course the Iranian response for against the attack. And between this and that, there were negotiations. There were a very important meeting between the two presidents of China and the USA. Obviously, it didn't reach the limits that the U.S. administration hoped for, but at least I believe they both have reached to a resolution that can keep the world safe for a few weeks or a few months to come.
Yes.
Agreed on opening the Strait of Hormuz, and on the other hand, delaying any war actions against Iran.
So, sir, how significant is Iran's latest response to the U.S. ceasefire proposal delivered through Pakistani mediation, and does it indicate willingness for compromise or merely a tactical delay strategy?
Well, this is exactly what's expressing the outcome of the American-Chinese summit. Of course, it didn't go for. They didn't meet each other for saying hello or exchange smiling, but they have reached a resolution that can make it easier for Iran to take a stand and a step forward with more positive suggestions for negotiations, as well as the Americans to back off a little and to step away from the edge of war and reigniting the war again. I believe this is a situation that the whole world is hoping that finally we reach the end of this conflict and restore some of the hopes, some of the stability, some sort of stability that we lacked for more than 15 years now and more.
So, sir, also, why is Iran insisting that any agreement must include reopening the Strait of Hormuz, sanctions relief and guarantees against future attacks before discussing its nuclear program?
Iran has lost half of its army. So it has got nothing to fight with or to deal upon or to negotiate with, except for what it can use it as a weapon. We all remember that the aggression has destroyed totally the Air Force, the Iranian Air Force, the Naval Air Force of Iran. So we wouldn't blame Iran if it's fighting with the cards left in its hand to negotiate with us. We can never expect that a nation could just humiliate itself with total surrender or complete surrender to any power in the world. That's why I believe from the very beginning that the American threats to send Iran back to the Stone Age was just false claims, because it's a nation. It's a nation with roots goes way back to 5,000 years. So how can you eliminate a nation? You can eliminate. You can change a regime. And the U.S. administration has done this once too many times, to go there and change a regime. And we all remember the dramatic and the horrifying scene of destroying Iraq, destroying the Iraqi army and dividing Iraq with claims of crusades against Iraq. And what's the outcome? Iraq today is divided between the Iranian influence and the Israeli influence and the Turkish influence. So I believe if this scenario would be repeated again in Iran, that would be more chaos and more dramatic scenes in the area, and that would mean that it's not a meaning, it's an aim, by the way, to divide and conquer. This is the very same strategy that the enemies of this region is applying since more than 100 years and more. We all remember the Sykes-Picot agreement.
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Amr Abdurrahman, journalist. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And by that, dear viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of The Breakfast Show. Thank you for watching.